Uh, did anybody know if we read chapter 32 last time
32 of what?
of Exodus?
I'm looking at mine now. 32 and 8.
I'm saying, did we read? Did we read? We didn't read that, didn't we?
Yes, it's down. You just read one verse. 32
Okay.
and 8.
Well, let's go ahead and do this then. Let's go ahead and let's go here. Where is it? Doggone it! Hold on a minute, y'all. I gotta do something real quick. Okay, I can't do that. So, all right, let's just go. Let's turn to the 32nd chapter, Deuteronomy. I mean Exodus. I'm sorry. I'm just kind of tired right now. Okay. And then I'll send these other things out as we go. Let me get here myself. All right. Exodus chapter 32. All right, everybody there?
Yep.
Okay. And when the people saw that Moshe delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said unto him, Up, make us elves, which shall go before us. For as for Moshe, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what is become of him. And Aaron said unto them, Break off the golden earrings, which are in the ears of your wives, of your sons, and of your daughters, and bring them unto me. So we see that Aaron has a role in this too. And all the people break off the golden earrings which were in their ears and brought them into Aaron. And he received them at their hand and fashioned it with the gravel tool after he had made it a molten calf. And they said, These be the elves of Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. And when Aaron saw it, he built an altar before it, and Aaron made proclamation and said, Tomorrow is a feast to Yahuwah. So we see right here, they have a fake Elohim, and then now they're even going as far as they built an altar to this Elohim, and then they also went ahead, and now they're going to call it a feast day. And they rose up early on the morrow, verse 6, and offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings. See, so that means they're doing everything like they would do it to their husband. Here they are, they're bringing burnt offerings and even peace offerings. And the people sat down to eat and to drink and rose up to play. And Yahuwah Elohim said unto Moses, Go get thee down, for thy people, which thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt, has corrupted themselves. And they have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. So they are off the path now. They have made them a molten calf and have worshipped it and have sacrificed thereunto and said, These be thy gods, O Israel, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt. And Yahuwah Elohim said unto Moshe, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people. Now therefore let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them, and that I may consume them, and I will make of thee a great nation. And Moshe besought Yahuwah Elohim, Yahuwah his Elohim, and said, O Yahuwah, why does thy wrath wax hot against thy people, which thou hast brought forth out of the land of Egypt with great power and with a mighty hand? Right? Wherefore should the Egyptians speak and say, For mischief did he bring them out, to slay them in the mountains, and to consume them from the face of the earth. Turn from thy fierce wrath and repent of this evil against thy people. Now he's going to remind him of the covenant. Remember, Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, right, who is Jacob, thy servants, to whom thou swearest by thine own self. That's that oath, right?
Yep.
Okay. And saidest unto them, I will multiply your seed as the stars of the heaven, and all this land that I have spoken of will I give unto your seed, and they shall inherit it forever. And Yahuwah Elohim repented of the evil which he thought to do unto his people. So we see, here's another example that Yahuwah Elohim, he will bring evil upon you if you're not doing the right thing, if you're wicked. So, let's see. And Moshe turned and went down from the mount, and the 2 tables of the testimony were in his hand. And the tables were written on both their sides, on the one side and on the other were they written. So he has 2 tablets, they both have writing on them, which we know is the 10 Commandments. And the tables were the work of Yahuwah Elohim, and the writing was the writing was the writing of Elohim, graven upon the tables. And when Yahshua heard the noise of the people as they shouted, he said unto Moshe, there is a noise of war in the camp. And he said, it is not the voice of them that shout for mastery, neither is it the voice of them that cry for being overcome, but the noise of them that sing do I hear. So they down there partying. Oh, here comes Trey trying to get in. All right, so they down there having a good time. And he took and it came to pass as soon as he came nigh unto the camp that he saw the calf and the dancing, and Moshe's anger waxed hot, and he cast the tables out of his hands and brake them beneath the mount. And he took the calf which they had made and burnt it in the fire and ground it into powder and strawed it up upon the water. So he spread it over the waters and made the children of the Israel drink. Now we know that this is the what he just did. What is that called as far as the law? It's the law of what? It's the law of jealousy.
Oh, okay.
Can you guys cover that in the sisters class? It's the law of jealousy. When a husband suspects his wife of doing wrong.
Oh yeah,
remember,
we did that.
The priest had made a drink that she had to drink, right? Okay, so it's the same thing. Now this is before the priest this was even given. See, so here's another thing to show you that this Melchizedek order was already in place, because if he's doing this before the priest even do it, that goes to show you, just like it goes to show you that Abraham, right? We go back to Genesis, he was keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments, right? Before Moshe, right? Before Mount Sinai. So this law has always been. Somebody have something to say? Say that again, Noel?
Quick question.
Yeah.
So, the law of jealousy, so if the man thought his wife was cheating on him, the priest would make a drink?
Right. And
is that right?
Right. And the woman would.
So, what happens if the wife thinks the man's cheating on her?
Well, I've never read anything like that, but I'm sure if the husband was cheating on the wife, then he would end up getting killed, because according to the scripture, he would be exposed, him and the girl. And we're going to get into that later on when we get into Leviticus, but he would be exposed, and him and the woman that he was cheating with, both of them would die. See, that's the beauty of this thing. If they would, if we had these laws intact, it would be a lot less problems in this country and the whole world, as a matter of fact. But the thing is, when you notice, the woman had to uncover her head, right? It was a shameful thing. So the first thing she had to do was uncover her head. Then when she drunk it, can somebody explain to me what happened? What happened after that?
If her stomach swelled up.
And her thighs rotted.
Yeah.
But if it didn't happen, then the husband, he had to pay a penalty for that. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Somebody else trying to get in. All right, so let's keep going.
But as you can always see also in that, if you look at the layout, they ask Aaron, why did you make the people naked? So Aaron uncovered the people as well.
Right.
It's like head covering. So
right.
It just shows you the power of a woman wearing something over her head. Because if she wouldn't have took that off, nothing would happen to her. She had to uncover her head first.
Right. We're
That's
gonna
why
get
it's so important to have your head covered, sisters, when you deal with this situation, with this word, because you know Satan's out there looking, he's a roaring lion and seeing who can devour. And when you're not covered, that opportunity presents itself.
yes, it does. All right, so we're gonna keep going because we're gonna get down to that. And then once we get, because next month we're gonna get into the priesthood and all that, but we're gonna be doing a lot of reading and the book of Numbers. We're gonna try to take this one book at a time so we can get through this so you guys really understand it. All right, now, and Moses said unto Aaron, what did this people unto thee, that thou hast brought so great a sin upon them? What did they do to you that you caused these people to sin? Because see, Aaron should have been the one that stopped this.
Yeah, because he was the priest.
But he went ahead and had them what? Break off the earrings. And he built the altar. And he said, that he fashioned everything. And he's the one that said, he's the one called the feast. Right? Now let's keep going. And I said, let me see, where was I at? And they sent it to me. Oh, it's okay, yeah. So he asked him, and Aaron said, let not the anger of my sovereign wax hot. Thou knowest, you know these people, that they are set on mischief. So it's like it's not a secret. For they sent it to me, make us elves which shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man that brought us out of the land of Egypt, we don't know what happened to him. And I said unto them, whosoever hath any gold, let them break it off. So they gave it me. Then I cast it into the fire, and there came out this calf. See how he said that?
Yeah.
See, he's lying, right?
Yeah. Because it said he fashioned the thing.
Right, but here he is talking about he just threw the gold in the fire and the calf came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when Moses saw that the people were naked, because why? They were uncovered now. But Aaron had made them naked until their shame among their enemies, right? Then Moses stood in the gate of the camp and said, who is on Yahuwah Elohim's side? Let him come unto me. And all the sons of Levi gathered themselves together until him. Now remember, last week, what did we talk? What did we prove about? What did we read about Levi? What kind of man was Levi and Simeon? What kind of men were they? Look in your notes. Look in your notes. Trey, you should know this one. I know you're up here. You should know this. It should be right there.
You mean besides them being the priest?
Yep, this was before they were the priests. Remember, we talked about this. And I think y'all went over on the women's sisters class too. Y'all should have notes on these. Even if you didn't make the sisters class, you still should have notes on it from last week. Trey, what kind of people, what kind of men was Simeon and Levi?
Yeah, I don't know that one, man. I'm gonna have to look back at it.
We just went over that last week. Okay. Do you remember, wife? They were violent. They were violent men. Isn't that what the father said? The father said that they were violent. He didn't want to take no counsel from them because of what they did. He said they were hands ox at any given second.
They were the one that went in Shechem and put that stick on Shechem.
Right. And the way they did it was cruel. Why? Because they tricked the men. The men already had raped their Dinah. So what they did was they tricked them and said, we can all be one people, but you got to be circumcised. So when they circumcise, anybody knows that if a man waits till he's grown to get circumcised, he ain't doing nothing for probably a week or two. He can't move. You know what I mean? So once they circumcise him, then they killed him. They use a sword to kill him. So at this point we're looking at right here, right? This is how they redeemed themselves. This is how they took over the priesthood, because it's evident. Now we know that, let's go back and look at this, because I'm still trying to figure this out. Okay, remember we went up here last, on the Shabbat, And we talked about this, remember? About how the temple was set up. The temple was set up the same way as when you see the Garden of Eden. Remember, we showed you that from right here, right? Here's the gate that the cherubims was at when Adam and Eve got put out. Here's the 4 different rivers, right? Right, y'all remember this? Then you have the garden, right, which is a holy place. You have the mountain of the sovereign, which is the Holy of Holies. And this is what the temple represents, the same thing. Can you guys see that? Right? If you look all the way over to the right, you have the way. That's what this gate is called. It's called the way. The way what? The way to salvation, right? But you had to go through the gate that represents the Mashiach. And then you have the cherubim here. So when we get to the temple, you'll understand this, right? You have the altar here. This is in the east gate. You have the altar here. You have the bronze laver here, right? Where the priests had to wash themselves, which represents the waters of life. It cleanses sin. So the elders was right here at this gate. Here they go right here. They're right there at that gate. Then in the holy place, right, was Aaron and his sons, right? And then in the Holy of Holies, this is where Moshe went. So when we go back to Mount Sinai, we see the same thing, except now we see the 70 elders are here. We see this is the way or the gate here where the 70 elders are at. The people is at the very bottom, right? They can't go any further. Now, then we have Aaron and his sons, which are in the holy place. And then we have Moshe, who represented the high priest at that time. And he went behind the veil into the Holy of Holies. He was able to be in the presence of Yahuwah. But after this calf incident, then the high priest could only go back to this place right here once a year. Can you guys see my little thing here moving around?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is it. This is the altar. This is the entrance. This is the gate. This is what they call the way. So when you hear these different ministries say the way ministry, this is what they're talking about. Well, most of them is talking about that Christ is the way, right? And I got that, but they don't understand this gate is called the way. So in other words, when they're coming back in, this is you have to use, this is why this is so significant. Because for these people, this was their way back into the Garden of Eden. Because remember, we showed you a picture that, let me see if I can get back to it. I gotta see if I can find it. Remember we showed you, no, it's not on this one. Remember I showed you guys how everything was, well, that's gonna be next time. I showed you guys how everything was set up. But this was their way to get back into the kingdom by being obedient. So now, when we look at everything these days, right, we have the Mashiach. So this represents the Mashiach, and his flesh is the veil that we have to go through to get to the ark. Can you guys understand that? His flesh.
Now, when you say the ark, do you mean like when he goes into the ark where the 2 angels' wings are touching each other?
Yeah, the 2 cherubim's wings are touching you. That's where the ark is at.
Okay, so that's in the most holy, right?
Holy of Holies.
See right here, look at the screen. Look at the screen.
I see it.
Holy of
That's
Holies, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm asking you. So, okay,
Yeah.
I got it.
So what it is when now, since the Mashiach came and he died to try to, because now you still, I mean, in other words, he opened the door of the covenant. Now by you being obedient and walking in the way, this is what gets you, because remember Paul's writings when he said that now the veil is the flesh of the Mashiach. So now once you do the commandments, you can come into the throne room, right? This is the throne room, because remember the ark was what? What was the ark? It had 2 cherubims, right?
Right.
But
And
what did it represent?
I would say the Most High in our midst.
That's
Okay,
the
but
mercy seat.
if this is where he's coming in a cloud and he settles in here and he sits down there, he
That's
sits.
what's the seat?
It's a throne.
It's the
Yep.
mercy seat.
It's the mercy
Yeah,
seat.
mercy seat. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of.
Right.
Okay.
But it's a throne on, this is where he comes, at that time, this is where he was coming to, because this is why everything had to be done here. Let me take y'all back here and let me show you this here. So y'all got to understand this stuff, because if you don't, we might have to spend some more time on this. See, this is the Holy of Holies. Moshe, that's what the mountain represented. That's why I kind of try to break it down like that so you guys can see this. It's the same thing. But at the end of Exodus, once they did this calf thing, they committed adultery with this calf. You couldn't just come back there anymore.
Okay.
That was once a year. And then the priest had to put bells and stuff on his garment. Well, we're going to get to that. But what I'm trying to get you guys to see is this right here. This is what I'm trying to get you guys to see. Okay, me and Jeshurun was talking about this, and I still haven't figured out, I haven't seen it. See, we know that Aaron came back down out of the mountain. We know Moshe was still up in the mountain, but there doesn't really say anything about the elders, what they did. You know, while this other thing that they did was going on. Because we know, remember we last week, who was doing all the sacrifices? Who was doing the sacrifices?
It was Aaron.
No. The firstborn.
Oh, that's right, before the priesthood. I'm sorry. Okay, you're right.
Remember the firstborn was doing the sacrifices, right? Okay, but after this golden calf incident, they weren't doing the sacrifices anymore. You know what? We're going to read that tonight. I'm going to change this up. We're going to read this. We're going to read that tonight because that's what we decided to do. We decided that from now on, we're just going to go through each book and take our time with this stuff. And so you guys can grasp this. Yes.
So as long as we follow the commandments and all of the statutes and do what we're supposed to do, we can enter into this gate.
Right.
I got it.
Okay, let me show you something. Let me show you this right here so you guys will understand. Okay, you see this right here? Since the Mashiach came, let me turn this around. Since the Mashiach came, this is where you can come to right now with boldness. You know what? Let's go read that. Let's go read that.
Saul?
Yes.
Just curious. I know that before they had the Levite priest that in order, you said the firstborn did the sacrifices. Aaron's sons did the firstborn.
No, remember we read last week that the firstborn, there was no priesthood. The firstborn, remember when after Moshe went ahead and he got ready to get the tablets, remember Yahuwah Elohim said, go ahead and get yourself together now, because tomorrow I want you to come up here in the morning. And then he had the book said that he made sacrifices, but later on, as we was reading, we found out that the firstborns of every tribe, or the firstborns, those was the ones that was doing the sacrifices at that time. Remember that?
Okay. And when the Levites took over, were they the firstborn, the oldest in their families as well, or did it not matter?
Well, it does matter, because when we go to Exodus chapter 6, let's go to Exodus chapter 6. Let's go there. And then we'll come back and go to Hebrews chapter 10. Okay, hold on a minute. Let me show you something. Let's go here. Let's just go here. It's okay. I mean, this is what we're supposed to be doing anyway. Exodus chapter 6, right?
What verse?
Now we're gonna read we're gonna start at verse 1. Actually, hold on, let me see something. What did I do? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna walk this thing. We'll walk it down. Let's go to Exodus chapter 6 and 23. All right, Exodus chapter 6 and 23. And Aaron took him Elisheba, daughter of Amminadab, sister of Nashon, to wife, and she bare him Nadab and Abihu, Eleazar and Ithamar. So the first one here was who? Was Nadab.
Nadab.
Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, we could go down low and it's going to show you these other sons, but we're not going to worry about that right now, right? Now, let's go to Exodus chapter, I think it's Exodus chapter, what is it, 24? Let me see, hold on a minute. I think it's Exodus chapter 19. Let's go to Exodus chapter 19. Okay. All right. We're going to start at verse 1. You guys ready?
Yep, I am.
Okay, in the 3rd month, when the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day came they unto the wilderness of Sinai. For they were departed from Rephidim, and were come to the desert of Sinai, and had pitched in the wilderness there. Israel camped before the mount. And Moshe went up to Yahuwah Elohim, and Yahuwah Elohim called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel, you have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you into myself. Now, therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then you shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. That's his proposal. He's on his knee proposing, right? And you shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. And Moshe came and called for the elders of the people, and laid before their faces all these words which Yahuwah Elohim commanded him. Remember that? He laid the covenant, or he laid part of the agreement before the people, because remember, they still haven't been ratified with blood yet, right? And they said, what? And all the people answered and said, all that Yahuwah Elohim have spoken, we will do. And Moses returned words unto the people, unto Yahuwah Elohim. And Yahuwah Elohim said unto Moses, Lo, I come unto thee in a thick cloud, that the people may hear when I speak with thee, and believe thee forever. And Moshe told the words of the people unto Yahuwah Elohim. And Yahuwah Elohim said unto Moses, Go unto the people, and sanctify them today, tomorrow, and let them wash their clothes. Now remember, we talked about this. Remember, like when you guys did the class on Esther, right? What happened? Y'all remember that, right? That was
Yeah, they had to sanctify her or
Okay.
wash her.
She purified herself, just like Esther did, right? She just
Mhm.
didn't do hers as long as Esther, but it was a purification, because that's what our culture involves, a purification before you come to your husband, right? Now let's go to verse 11. And be ready against the 3rd day. For the 3rd day, Yahuwah Elohim will come down in the sight of all the people upon Mount Sinai. Thou shalt set bounds unto the people round about, saying, Take heed to yourself, that you go not up into the mount, or touch the border of it. Whosoever touches the mount shall surely be put to death. And we're gonna get to that part of it tonight too, to show you that the second time the stones was made, was none of this said. None of this was even mentioned, right? And that's going to be a very important key to this, to understanding these ordinances again. There shall not a hand touch it, but he shall surely be stoned or shot through, whether it be beast or man. It shall not live. When the trumpet sounded long, they shall come up to the mount. And Moshe went down from the mount unto the people, and sanctified the people, and they washed their clothes. And he said unto the people, Be ready against the 3rd day. Come not at your wives. And it shall come to pass on the 3rd day in the morning, that there were thunders and lightnings in the thick cloud upon the mount, and the voice of the trumpet exceeding loud, so that all the people that was in the camp trembled. And Moshe brought forth the people out of the camp to meet with Yahuwah Elohim. And they stood at their nether part of the mount. Remember, they had to stand back. They couldn't come too close. Mount Sinai was altogether on the smoke, because Yahuwah descended upon it in fire. And the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of the furnace, and the whole mount quaked greatly. And when the voice of the trumpet sounded long, and waxed louder and louder, Moshe spake, and Yahuwah Elohim answered him by the voice. And Yahuwah came down upon the mountain and on top of the mount, and Yahuwah Elohim called Moses up to the top of the mount, and Moshe went up. And Yahuwah said unto Moses, go down, charge the people, lest they break through unto Yahuwah Elohim to gaze, and many of them perish. And let the priests also, which come near to Yahuwah Elohim, sanctify themselves, lest Yahuwah Elohim break forth upon them. Well, we know there was no priesthood then. So remember, can you give me this word? Can you give me, hold on a minute, can you get me this right here? Yes, hold on a minute, we're gonna show you who these people are. I need you to get me this, that same verse, and I need you to give me that word priest out of there. Mm-hmm. So remember, we always talk about this as far as having this blue letter Bible handy. I thought I had it up here already because I would go right into it. Exodus chapter 19 and verse 22. If you can, go into your blue letter and then give me this word priest. I'm gonna get my wife to do it. Right.
Principal officer or chief ruler.
Principal officer or chief ruler. Uh-huh.
It could also be priest.
Uh-huh. What's the root word? Mm-hmm. Right. So let's go ahead and do this then. Okay, so but it's saying that it's like a noble, because we know if we really went through this thing, we would see that they if we really went through this thing, we would see later on, we're gonna find out all the tribes, they went ahead and chose the elder or the firstborn was the one that represented everybody. Did you guys do that homework that I put out there? Remember I told you guys to read some chapters? Okay.
Yes.
Huh? You guys read them chapters?
That was a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, I did too, but some of it I don't remember. I'm gonna tell you
I
that.
know.
Okay, hold on. All right, hold on a minute. Let's do this here. Okay, hold on a minute. All right, so let's keep going then. Let's keep going.
Yes. Saul,
Yes.
priest, is that different than, okay, when we looked up shepherd and you told us that one, you said it was a ruler, a teacher, a pastor, an instructor, or deacon.
Right.
So the priest is different, right?
Yes, a priest is different because a priest is. We're gonna get into that when we get ready to get into the Levite. Then you're gonna understand. But what I'm trying to show you right here is that. Hold on a minute. Let me find this for you guys. Trey, are you there? Trey,
Yep.
Can you start reading from verse 23 all the way down to 25 while I get this scripture I want to show everybody?
All right. Exodus 19:23 through 25.
Right.
And Moses said unto Yahuwah, the people cannot come up to Mount Sinai, for you charged us, saying, set bounds about the mount and sanctify it. And Yahuwah said unto him, away, get thee down, and you shall come up, you and Aaron with you. But let not the priest and the people break through to come up to Yahuwah, lest he break forth upon them. So Moses went down unto the people and spoke to them.
Right. Okay. So now let's go here. Let's go over the verse. So we know, so this is what happened here, right? Now let's jump. So we know chapter 20, 21, and 22 are dealing with what? That's dealing with the judgments, right?
Right.
Okay.
The laws of property and how to treat your servants and that kind of thing.
21 begins with
Right. 21 starts with the judgments, right? Now
Yep.
let's go ahead and get on let's go ahead and get on chapter 24. Go ahead and start at verse 1, Trey. Exodus chapter 24 and verse 1. We're going to go through this, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Hold on a minute. So just bear with me.
Exodus chapter 24, verse 1. And he said unto Moses, come up to Yahuwah, you and Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Yasharal, and worship from afar. And Moses alone shall come near Yahuwah, but they shall not come near, neither shall the people go up with him. And Moses came and told the people all the words of Yahuwah, and all the judgments. And all the people answered in one voice and said, all the words which Yahuwah has said, we will do. And Moses wrote all the words of Yahuwah, and rose up early in the morning, and built an altar under the hill, and 12 pillars according to the 12 tribes of Israel. And he set young men of the children of Israel, which offered burnt offerings, and sacrificed peace offerings of oxen unto Yahuwah. And Moses took half of the blood and put it in basins, and half of the blood he sprinkled on the altar. And he took the book of the covenant and read it to the audience of the people. And they said, all that Yahuwah has said will we do, and be obedient. And Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people and said, behold, the blood of the covenant which Yahuwah has made with you concerning all these words. Then went up Moses and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel. And they saw the Elohim of Israel. And there was under his feet, as it were, a paved work of a sapphire stone, and as it were the body of the Shemaim and his clearness. And upon the nobles of the children of Yasharal, he laid not his hand. Also, they saw Yahuwah and did eat and drink.
So you see that right there, it's telling you that Aaron's 2 oldest sons went up there with him, right?
Yep,
Y'all see that?
yep,
Okay, but he told them how far they could go, right?
yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Trey.
Verse 12. And Yahuwah said unto Moses, come up to me in the mount and be there, and I will give you tables of stone and a law and a commandment that I have written, that you may teach them.
Okay, but hold on a minute. Let me see where you at. Where are you at right now? Exodus what?
24 and 13.
Okay, go back up to verse 5. I want y'all, because I believe everybody missed this. I wanted to see if y'all was going, everybody missed it. Go
No,
Exodus,
I saw it, the young man, I saw it.
young men. See, go read that again, Trey.
And he sent young men of the children of Israel, which offer burnt offerings and sacrifice peace offerings of oxen unto Yahuwah.
Right, do y'all see that?
Yep.
So,
Now,
yeah.
does that mean the young men, were they all firstborns?
They were all firstborns, and I'm not gonna show you. I can't show it to you now, but I can show it to you later. So see, so the
Okay.
priest, there was no. I mean, as far as the priesthood, there is no priesthood because we just got done looking at chapter 32, right?
Yep.
When the priesthood was going, when the Levites was getting ready to get chose. So, but y'all know this part. Do y'all have an understanding on this now? Or
I do.
Does everybody else, Kim?
Yes, thank you.
Are you sure? We can read it now. We can go back over it. I don't care how many times we go over it. I want to make sure you guys got this now.
I understand, babe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you see there was a young man that was doing this, right? The
Right.
young man. Okay, but the book, it makes it seem like it's Moses, but if you don't slow down, like Jeshurun was saying, and read, you'll go right past it. So now, and we see that Aaron and that Nahab and Abihu was right there with their father, right? When we go back right here, so when we come back, you guys look at the screen. When we come back right here, what do you see? This is what Aaron and his sons right? This is where they at. They came to the veil at the holy place. So this is the veil right here. That's as far as they could go. But what me and Jeshua was trying to figure out, we know that Aaron right here came down. We know that Aaron left and came down here with the people because that's where they built the calf at. But it
Right.
never says nothing about the 70 elders. But we know as we're going to keep reading, we're going to see that he's going to choose the priest. Let's go back to Exodus chapter 32 now, Trey. Go back here. Let's go back. Because see right here, and we're going to start at verse 6. Because I want you to see that because you got to remember something. There was no Levite priesthood at this time. There wasn't. So start at verse 6, Trey, and keep reading. I want you guys to see if you guys can catch this. Go ahead, Trey.
And they rose up early on the morrow and offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings.
Who offered the burnt offering? It had to be the young men.
Yeah, it had to be because there was no priest.
There was no priesthood then. Go ahead, Trey.
And the people sat down to eat and to drink and rose up to play. And Yahuwah said unto Moses, Go get you down, for the people which you brought out of the land of Egypt have corrupted themselves. They have turned aside out of the way which I commanded them. They have made them a molten calf and have worshipped it and have sanctified thereunto. And they said, These be thy Elohims, O Israel, which have brought you up out of the land of Egypt. And Yahuwah said unto Moses, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people. Now therefore, leave me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them, that I may consume them, and I will make of you a great nation.
Okay.
And Moses besought.
Keep going.
And Moses besought Yahuwah, his Elohim, and said, Yahuwah, why do your wrath wax hot against your people, which you have brought forth out of the land of Egypt with great power and with a mighty hand? Wherefore should the Egyptians speak and say, For mischief did he bring them out, to slay them in the mountains, and to consume them from the face of the earth?
Okay. Jump down to verse 26 now.
Verse 26. Then Moses stood in the gate of the camp and said,
Right there. So he stood in the gate. So he's out here right now. He's standing in the gate. Go ahead.
And the gate was right. Where was the gate, babe? Right here.
There we go. See, I got it right here.
Entrance right there.
All right, there we go. Come on.
and said, Who is on Yahuwah's side? Let him come unto me. And all of the sons of Levi gathered themselves together unto him, and said unto them, Thus said the Elohim of Israel, Put every man his sword by his side, and go in and out from gate to gate through the camp, and slay every man his brother, every man his companion, and every man his neighbor.
I have a question.
Yes.
Now it says here the sons of Levi. So are the sons of Levi the only ones that weren't participating in that?
No, I mean that never says that, because we know that Aaron did, but this is what this is what the book is saying. No matter who did what, when he gave everybody a chance,
Right.
he said, whoever is on my side, let them come over here, right? So who came over there?
Just the sons of Levi.
The Levites. Go ahead, Trey. Go ahead, Trey.
So they were the only ones saved that day, were just the Levites?
Well, it was a whole lot more that was saved. See, this is what you got to do sometimes. Because, see, I should have had the Q Bible up, and I'm gonna stop bringing that up here because when you're reading this King James, it leaves a lot to be desired. This is why we keep trying to teach you guys about the Book of Jubilees, the Book of Jasher, and the Q Bible. Because even though you read it out of this, you still got to go back to the Q Bible, to the LXX Septuagint, and you gotta read the story over. This is what studying is. You got to read it a couple of times. You got to, because it's like you searching, like if you're a detective, you know what I mean? You're a detective. You're trying to get to the bottom of this. So now right here might be a piece of, they got some chewing gum right here. Okay, I need to get that and put that in the bag for evidence. Okay, what's this right here? It's a fiber. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing. So you got to try to use.
Okay, well, I have a Sefer. I have the Sefer.
The Sefer is good. Hold on a minute.
I have the Sefer Bible. I mean,
Right.
the Sefer book.
I got a Sefer too. And what I do is I'll read it. This is how I'll do. I'll read it because I got to make sure that I'm right and exact when I try to teach y'all, right? But at the same time, I want to know for myself. So I'm gonna look at the Sefer. Then I'm gonna go ahead because they tell you that the Sefer and the Septuagint is like it's like the best translation but it's not. That's not true. Okay, let me show you what I'm talking about. We're gonna stop this for a minute. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. Let me do this here. Stop. I'm gonna stop this because